absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm a mix of a whole heap of things at the moment, but I'm told it's not a pretty look when I'm angry and frustrated. So I'll choose to be very proud instead. Thought our young guys tonight, our team, were tremendous physical effort that they put into the game, the complete resilience that they showed to fight back after some diabolical decisions that were made in tonight's game, and the way they persevered and kept at it and still trying to win it at the end was just a real comment, I thought, on the spirit that's in our crew and the determination they are to become a really good team in the next a little while. We keep doing what we did tonight, we get a fair crack at some the bounce of the ball and all that sort of stuff, we'll win some more games.
Which passages of play do you think decided the game?
The reverse decision on the lost ball where referee Lyons clearly indicated that he thought it was a lost ball, and then obviously referee Perenara decided we were going the other way, and that hasn't been happening in our season so far. The pocket referees had little or no input into that sort of stuff, and that hurt us tonight. That was obviously, it's a place where you come here, the crowd's baying at you. They're even baying for our blood when the under-20s was on. They go crazy, and the fans here are fantastic in support of their team, but we shouldn't all get caught up in that. Coaches and players and referees and even video referees have got a job to do to stay balanced and make sure that they're not caught up in all that other stuff that's going on.
Were there any other decisions that you...
There were too many of them for me to mention tonight.
Were you happy to get the try off the simultaneous grounding?
Yeah, that was one of those that, yeah.
What happened with Minicello at the end? Was he concussed all day?
Yeah,
when he played that ball?
He banged his head on the ground.
Right.
Did you find it frustrating out there?
Extremely. There was too many disappointing calls. The hit on Rapiera, I think they just watched...
On
Rapati, sorry. I mean, they must have watched the Bulldogs game last night and just got paranoid about the shoulder hitting the head, because it was nowhere near the head, and he went off with an injured knee. So he got carried off. He couldn't walk. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But he couldn't walk off. He didn't get carried off because he was concussed. He got carried off because of his knee. And we get criticised as captains as being aggressive towards referees or going up to the referees and being critical. But how can you hold your nerve when you're playing for everything in this competition for 2 points, and you go up to a referee and there's just no answer? You just get penalised for it, and it can cost you a game.
Is this an isolated thing, Brian, or is it a trend of the season?
I thought that the way the game ran tonight was encapsulated in the last 2 minutes or the last minute and a half, where in the end they didn't even know that you should blow the whistle when the hooter goes. The referee was going to go another play the ball after it was clear, like I'm in a box, insulated, surely, and the whole thing that led up to that, the scrum and not taking time off at the point where Minicello couldn't play the ball because he was obviously distressed. A referee with feel would have replayed that. He would have just told him, we'll have that play the ball again. I've seen that happen many times where the referee...
He apologised to me after it because he missed it, and he said, "Oh, sorry, he was knocked out, we did too."
It was just, and then the clock wasn't stopped, and the other referee was trying to get his attention to get him to stop the clock, and it was 15 seconds or so went there, and the abomination that was the scrum. I'm told that the referee actually says when they were pushing in there, we've still got time off, and the clock was still running. He'd forgotten that he'd actually started it up again, so there was another 10 or 15 seconds went there, and then he gives a penalty in that because of what it was. Most of the experienced referees in those situations are waiting until the ball is actually fed into the scrum before they signal time on. And that was that whole last. We were playing for the game. The 2 referees looked to me like they couldn't wait to get off the field. They just wanted to get it all to end. And how can we get out of here? And that's disappointing for them and obviously for us. And it is for our game. There's a whole untidiness about our game at the moment where teams are doing this sort of thing and laying down and not playing the ball and chewing the clock up. And the encouragement is we would probably do the same thing, by the way. you know, the encouragement is there within the way the refs are interpreting all that instead of taking a strong stand about that and working it out. And some of it maybe needs to get it sorted out by other people, one of which bodies is one of them. I'm on myself, and I'd like to know what the answer is. But it was just ugly for the game. Well, I'm not talking about us losing because of that. It was just, it's not the way we want the rugby union World Cup final finishes with, you know, whatever, 3 or 4, it seemed like half an hour of guys just diving at the ground and chewing up the clock. It was good for you Kiwis, but I understand because you won the game. But it was ugly. It was an obscene sort of way for a climax of a tournament to finish in sporting, you know, extravaganza like that was. And our game's got that little bit in it as well at the moment. I wish we could fix that.
Brian, how would you compare the Warriors' display tonight compared to their performance in round 5?
Oh, they improved remarkably. They were very poor in the start of that game. They played some good footy in the second half, and it was very close. We finished up winning by a margin, but that game was nip and tuck in the second half. But their overall game was way better, and so was ours, by the way.
Was there a tactic, Ray, tonight, maybe not so much to push up on their kickers, but to actually drop more players back to try and protect your fullback from Marty Butter? But he didn't seem to get close to knocking Sean Johnson on his bum tonight.
No, not really.
Just the way it panned out.
Yeah,
We were trying hard to help out more Sam Perrott than Minnie, though most of the kicks went to our right edge and available. And he's an awesome thing when he does what he does. He's a fantastic athlete. The kicks were pinpoint accurate.
What about Johnson? How do you defend a guy like him when he's running out in front of you with the ball like that?
he's unbelievable. His footwork's amazing. You've just got to hold your line and stay square. And you know, we sort of gave him a little bit of too much space there. And he's too good to take it every time.
Yeah, that was one of the things we could have. That was well under our control, and we should have done better. Enormous credit to him because he is a beautiful, balanced athlete, and he's got feet like a whatever. He's great, but we should have shut that down. There was bits there that we could have done better with, but there was a lot of stuff. The courage and the effort and the physical stuff that we brought to the table tonight made me extremely excited and very happy with the way our team's progressing.
Do you have to whack off an email to Bill Harrigan?
No, we've been down that one. We've done all that stuff. It's obvious what needs to be done out of tonight's game, and that's Bill's charter or Stewie Raper's or whoever. That's not mine. We got some stuff that we need to work on, and we got some stuff that we can build on from tonight's game. That's the most important bit for us. Thanks.